God gives us victories through our testimony. The victory is the fact that you walked through the fire and you did not come out looking like smoke.
Welcome back to another episode of From Scratch. From Scratch is a faith-based podcast where we are the embodiment of the great I am, where we discuss disruptive topics that require a level of healing to invoke an appreciation of the authenticity of ourselves while cultivating the power to be who we are becoming. This is a reminder we can all serve as a bridge, and the goal is ultimately creating a safe haven for revival and restoration. Welcome. Grab a seat and join a place of presence.
Hey world, what's up? Welcome to another episode of From Scratch. The holidays just passed. I hope everyone had a lovely holiday, whatever your religion is, whatever you celebrated this holiday. Happy New Year to all. As we come into this new year, I wanted to give you guys a affirmation to start living and repeating daily, okay? When you say this, say it loud, say it proud, okay? I am living in overflow. Yes, you have no idea what you just activated with that. Say it with your chest. Come on. I am living in overflow. Yes, I'm here for it. I'm wishing abundance and overflow on every single viewer watching this. Please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. This episode is all about self-doubt, and y'all know I love my definitions. The definition of self-doubt is lack of confidence in oneself and abilities. The definition of doubt is lack of conviction. Conviction means a firmly held belief or opinion. All right now. Just a trigger warning. This episode is disruptive. This episode hands down serves as a reminder that we are coming from a place of healing, okay? Before we dive right in, I wanted to share with you guys a Bible verse from Proverbs. It is Proverbs 18:20. From the fruit of their mouth, a person's stomach is filled. With the harvest of their lips, they are satisfied. People don't change until staying the same hurts too bad. But don't fear change. Folding is not an option. Selling yourself short is not an option. You're not for sale, okay? When we fall, we get right back up, all right? Staying there is not an option for us. Do you hear me? Let's run back to affirmation. I am living in overflow. Yes, you are. When you've always fought for love, it's hard to believe that you're loved. And when you've never had an example, it's hard to see. We are raised in an era where push through, you'll be fine, be the strong person, let it go, are all things that are told to us by daily. Why these things, let it go might be true, push through might be true. Like, we have to give ourselves some grace. But self-sabotaging is not grace, okay? Some examples of self-sabotaging are being too hard on yourself. Give yourself more credit. Be easy on you. Okay, we are all here having a human experience, replaying scenarios in your mind over and over again, replaying results in your mind over and over again, okay? Your mental health is at risk. Your relationships are at risk, whether it be platonic or intimately. Your finances are at risk. These are all a few areas, major areas that self-sabotaging, having these habits hinder, being a pessimistic. We are opportunists, okay? We are in the transition of being an opportunist. Being a pessimist is the way of the past, okay? I know they told you that you wasn't gonna be nothing. I know they told you that you could never have that. I know they told you to be more realistic. I know they told you all of that, but trust and believe that everything on your heart 100% can come true and can happen for you as long as you put the steps and action towards it. And steps and actions towards the desire of your hearts do not look like self-sabotaging. This is just a reminder. This episode, hands down, serves as a reminder that we are all coming from a place of healing, okay? Let's run back the affirmation. Let's run it back. I am living in overflow. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, baby. All right, let's ride. Let's keep going. Procrastinating. You might be exhausted mentally. You might be flustered. You might be dissatisfied. But making a routine within yourself, making a timeline for when things are going to take place for you, absolutely is a great way to get rid of being a procrastinator. It's not easy. I'm a procrastinator too. If I have until midnight to do something, 11:59, come on. But when you do things in a more organized fashion, it definitely amplifies your results. And start small. Let's be realistic, because change doesn't happen overnight. Another example is not honoring your own boundaries. And this is a really big one, because we come from a culture where we are reminded to, again, be the strong person. We're almost kind of reminded to be like a people pleaser, and in all of those tendencies that we happen to fall into, it veers us away from the boldest reminder that boundaries are healthy. We need boundaries, okay? The Bible, Genesis, is full of boundaries. The first book in the Bible is giving you a prelude on what boundaries are and the necessity of boundaries. Do you hear me? Don't get used to playing it small. Don't get used to overcommitting yourself to things. And one thing we're not going to get used to is putting ourselves last. Yes, I'm going to say it again for the ones in the back. Stop putting yourself last. Stop selling yourself short. Stop selling yourself cheap. You are not for sale. You are at the top of your priority list, okay? You are your best assignment, baby. Sometimes it looks like you'll never get through something. Sometimes you don't even know how you're going to get through something. And this is the easiest way for these self-sabotaging habits to just come through the cracks, slip through, and it's so easy to fall back into those habits of talking to yourself so negatively. And I mean, like, come on, we've all been there. I'm ugly. I'm not enough. I'm not loved. I'm not valuable. I don't even have the power to make that change. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. What you went through could very well have possibly killed you, but it didn't. You're still here. You may have lost your mind. You may be in the process of losing your mind. You may be on that brink. What you went through could be the very thing that will be used to deliver you. What you go through, what you went through, may be the very thing that will be used to deliver you. Do you hear me? Remind yourself of the power of the tongue. Be careful how you talk. Be careful how you speak to yourself. Even be careful how you treat yourself. Everything starts with you. In the first episode, I talked about navigating through lessons in life and how those things that might have hardened your heart were opportunities. Episode 2, I talked about idolizing and trusting and not prioritizing these negative things, self-sabotaging yourself. Starting your day negatively is idolizing. You might not know how you're going to get through things, but baby, knowing that you are going to get through it will carry you through the other side. Do you hear me? Last episode, we talked about not falling for short-term pleasures, okay? Don't be tempted by this little bit of this inch of something when the picture is bigger, okay? It's bigger than this moment. If you don't know about the prodigal son, he was denied. Nobody believed in him, okay? You will be denied. Nobody will believe in you, okay? You will be put through things that might harden your heart. You might be put through things that put you in positions where you no longer know how to receive. These are the people that God are calling. God favors the blind and the broken. These are the people that God wants. You were once lost and now you can be found. Once you're home, you won't want to go anywhere else, okay? And I don't mean something in the physical. Everything starts inside, baby. Once you start moving towards actions of turning I'm not enough to I am enough. That's groundbreaking, baby. That's groundbreaking, baby. Okay? Let's run back the affirmation. I am living in overflow. Because this is how we're going to talk to ourselves after this episode. Okay? We are reminded all throughout this episode that we are coming from a place of healing. Do you hear me? You do not look like what you've been through. It might have looked like you walked through the fire, but you do not look like smoke. You don't look like your past. You don't look like the things that are already forgiven. I speak on vulnerability because there is no shame, because there is a normality to the lack of understanding that we lack emotional intelligence at times. Our testimony is our vulnerability, okay? God gives us victories through our testimonies. It's very rare that God will just come and crown you. God's just gonna give you something. No, baby, the victory is your testimony. The victory is the fact that you walked through the fire and you did not come out looking like smoke. The victory is in the fact that you went through everything that you got and you don't look like what you've been through. Okay? When we come to a point of pleading to God, asking him questions like why and how and why me, why now, what is the purpose? He brings us to points of no returns. He shows us areas where we are at capacity that need some rearranging or adaptation, whether that's people, habits, places, jobs, or places that are just familiar to us. He will take us to an unfamiliar place, to a place of familiarity and a place of comfort in adaptation. Don't fear change. Don't be scared to take that leap. Don't be scared to let go. Don't be scared to receive, okay? In all of this process, you will be taken from a place of unbecoming to become, okay? A place of merely being a watered seed to blossoming, blooming, and sprouting. I'm gonna say it again. Like, you do not look like what you've been through. So this transformation is not going to be, it might not be recognizable to the people around you. No one around you might even notice this change that's happening within you, okay? Those that are meant to be connected to you, they won't need an explanation. They won't need a level of understanding. They will see you in your authenticity. Your life may seem like darkness when you're experiencing mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, when you're experiencing life in the shadows, life in the darkness. These are not the times to curl up, okay? These are not the times to find comfort in the places that you have been, okay? This is an op. Everybody want to talk about ops. The most revelation, the most realizations, they all come from dark places. This is an opportunity for you to reflect on yourself and remind yourself not to seek pleasure, not to seek satisfaction from anybody outside, because you don't need anybody to tell you that you are transforming. You don't need anybody to tell you that you are changed. You don't need anybody to tell you that you look different. You just glow different when you start doing different, okay? The peace is coming. Your results are coming. The desires of your heart, they are coming, okay? And when you are on the other side, you'll see how you thought you walked through the fire, yet when you are looking and you're there alone, looking at your reflection, you'll see that you don't look like what you've been through. When God works miracles, he's working them through process and progression, okay? I'm gonna tell y'all again, please be gentle with yourself. Please be faithful to yourself. Please be patient with yourself. When you ask God for change, he gives you a seed. This is a reminder to water yourself and to be watered. I want to share another Bible verse with you guys before I close out, and it is Zachariah 4:10. Do not despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. okay? In the beginning of the episode, I shared a verse from Proverbs 18:20. In the fruit of their mouth, a person's stomach is filled. With the harvest of their lips, they are satisfied. Do you hear me? The way you speak. Be careful to the ways that you're digesting things within yourself. Be careful for the ways that you are speaking to yourself, because the fruits, your harvest, it all depends on it, baby. We're going to close out this episode with a few affirmations, because what we are doing is setting the tone for this new year, the new ambitions, this new version of you that is coming from a place of adaptation, baby, okay? I am living in overflow. I am not my past. I do not look like what I've been through. I am more than enough. I am a conqueror. And ask yourself, how can you be found if you've never been lost? That's a wrap.